Hello doctors, this class is about glycogen metabolism. Glycogen is the storage form of energy in our body. So it is similar to starch, which is the storage form in the plants. Starch has two things, amylose and amylopectins. Glucose is the homopolysaccharides, which has a repeating units of monosaccharides. Glycogen is a highly complex structure with more branches containing branched polymer of alpha-D-glucose. So glycogen is otherwise a homopolysaccharide which contains repeating units of glucose. Next thing, the glycogen is stored in liver and muscle. The organ which depends on glucose as the energy fuel are RBC and brain. So whenever they need glucose, we are not going to eat throughout a day. So whenever we are not eating, that time the glucose is supplied to RBC and brain from the glycogen stores. So these glycogen are stored in liver and muscle. They provide the necessary glucose to the RBC and brain. So these are the two organs which depends on the glucose. If we are taking 200 grams of glucose in a day, 80% goes to your RBC and brain. 5% it is given to the human blood circulation. So 5% of glucose is maintained in the human blood circulation. Why this is to be maintained? Why the blood glucose is maintained in the circulation? Because the normal value is between 70 to 110 milligram per deciliter. Whenever the glucose value falls below 70, that too below 45, it leads to a condition called hypoglycemia. So hypoglycemia, it compromises your brain function, leading to confusion, disorientation and coma. So for this reason, we have to maintain the blood glucose value between 70 to 110 milligram per deciliter. So if it falls below, it is sensed by your brain as hypoglycemia and leads to confusion, disorientation and coma. So the importance of glycogen is, one thing, it is stored in liver and muscle. Why it is stored in liver? Because the function of the liver glycogen is to maintain the blood glucose value between 70 to 110 milligram per deciliter. So this is in a narrow range. So this narrow range is maintained by your liver glycogen. Whereas the muscle glycogen is used for ATP synthesis, and that ATP is utilized by the muscle itself. So it is not going to give the energy for other purposes. It is going to utilize the ATP for its own energy utilization. This is the importance of glycogen stored in liver and muscle. Why this discrepancy? Why the muscle can't maintain the blood glucose? Because the glucose 6-phosphate formed from the glycogen breakdown, it is forming glucose by the enzyme glucose 6-phosphatase. This enzyme is not present in muscle. So it forms till glucose 6-phosphate. It is not further broken down to glucose because of the enzyme glucose 6-phosphate which is absent in your muscle. So the glucose 6-phosphate can have various fates. It can go into glycolysis, producing pyruvate and then lactate. This lactate once again, it is coming back to liver for glucose production. So the lactate synthesized in the muscle goes to the liver for glucose production. So lactate is a source of gluconeogenesis. And other thing, the pyruvate which is produced from the glucose 6-phosphate, it is converted to acetyl-CoA in TCA cycle. This acetyl-CoA can give energy in the ETC and it is completely oxidized to carbon dioxide and water. These are the importance of glycogen stored in liver and muscle.